Today our topic is how to live a life of purpose according to philosophy. Living a life of purpose is something many people think about, but not everyone knows how to achieve it. Philosophy, especially ancient wisdom like Stoicism, can help us understand how to live in a way that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Let's explore what it means to live with purpose and how philosophy can guide us on this journey. First, let's talk about what purpose means. Purpose is not just about having big goals or dreams. It's about understanding what truly matters to you and aligning your actions with those values. It's about living in a way that feels right, not just for today, but for the long term. Purpose gives us direction and helps us make decisions that lead to a fulfilling life. To live a life of purpose, we need to start by understanding ourselves. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates said, "Know thyself." This means we must take the time to reflect on who we are, what we value, and what kind of person we want to be. Without self-awareness, it's hard to know what truly matters to us. Ask yourself questions like, what do I care about most? What kind of life do I want to live? What kind of person do I want to become? These questions help us clarify our values and goals. Once we know what matters to us, we can start making choices that align with those values. This is the foundation of living a purposeful life. Next, let's talk about Stoicism, a philosophy that can help us live with purpose. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot control. This is a powerful idea because so much of life is unpredictable. We can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Stoics believe that our happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external things like money, fame, or success. By focusing on our inner world, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we can find peace and purpose, no matter what happens around us. One key Stoic principle is to live in accordance with nature. This means accepting the reality of life, including its challenges and uncertainties. Life is not always easy, and bad things will happen. But instead of fighting against reality, we can learn to accept it and focus on what we can do to improve our situation. For example, if you lose your job, you can't change the fact that it happened. But you can control how you respond by staying calm, looking for new opportunities, and learning from the experience. This mindset helps us stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Another important idea in Stoicism is the concept of virtue. Virtue means living with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These are the qualities that help us live a good life. When we act with virtue, we are living in alignment with our values and purpose. For example, if you value honesty, you will strive to be truthful in all your actions. If you value kindness, you will treat others with compassion and respect. Virtue is not about being perfect. It's about making an effort to live in a way that reflects your deepest values. By focusing on virtue, we can build a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Now, let's talk about the importance of goals. Living with purpose often involves setting goals that reflect our values and aspirations. But it's important to remember that goals are just tools to help us live a purposeful life. They are not the purpose itself. For example, if your goal is to become a successful business person, ask yourself why this matters to you. Is it because you want to make a positive impact on the world? Is it because you want to provide for your family? Understanding the deeper why behind your goals helps you stay motivated and focused. At the same time, it's important to be flexible with your goals. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes our plans don't work out the way we expect. This doesn't mean we failed, it just means we need to adapt. The key is to stay focused on your values and purpose, even if your goals change along the way. For example, if you've always dreamed of becoming a doctor, but realize it's not the right path for you, that's okay. You can still live a purposeful life by finding another way to help others, such as through teaching, volunteering, or working in a different field. The important thing is to stay true to your values and keep moving forward. Another important aspect of living with purpose is mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully present in the moment and paying attention to what's happening right now. When we are mindful, we can appreciate the small joys of life and find meaning in everyday moments. For example, instead of rushing through your day, take a moment to notice the beauty of nature, enjoy a conversation with a friend, or savor a meal. These small moments of presence can bring a sense of fulfillment and purpose to your life. Mindfulness also helps us manage stress and stay focused on what truly matters. When we are mindful, we are less likely to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Instead, we can focus on the present moment and take action to improve our lives. For example, if you're feeling stressed about work, take a few deep breaths and remind yourself of your purpose. Why are you doing this work? What values does it reflect? By staying mindful, you can find meaning and motivation even in challenging situations. Another key to living with purpose is gratitude. Gratitude means appreciating what we have instead of focusing on what we lack. When we practice gratitude, we shift our attention to the positive aspects of our lives, which helps us feel more content and fulfilled. For example, instead of complaining about your job, think about the opportunities it provides, such as learning new skills, meeting interesting people, or supporting your family. By focusing on what you're grateful for, you can find meaning and purpose even in ordinary situations. Gratitude also helps us build stronger relationships with others. When we appreciate the people in our lives, we are more likely to treat them with kindness and respect. This creates a sense of connection and belonging, which is an important part of living a purposeful life. For example, take a moment to thank a friend for their support, or tell a family member how much you appreciate them. These small acts of gratitude can strengthen your relationships and bring more meaning to your life. Finally, let's talk about the importance of giving back. Living with purpose often involves contributing to something greater than ourselves. This could mean helping others, making a positive impact on your community, or working towards a cause you care about. When we give back, we connect with others and create a sense of meaning and fulfillment. For example, you might volunteer at a local charity, mentor a young person, or support a friend in need. These acts of kindness not only help others, but also enrich your own life. In conclusion, living a life of purpose is about understanding your values, aligning your actions with those values, and staying focused on what truly matters. Philosophy, especially Stoicism, offers valuable tools for living with purpose, such as focusing on what you can control, practicing virtue, and staying mindful. By setting meaningful goals, practicing gratitude, and giving back to others, you can build a life that feels fulfilling and purposeful. Remember, living with purpose is not about achieving perfection or avoiding challenges. It's about making choices that reflect your deepest values and finding meaning in every moment. So take the time to reflect on what matters to you and start taking small steps towards living a life of purpose today.